Good evening, folks. Let's go ahead and get airborne with our Options Weapons School session number 6. And we're going to be talking about double verticals tonight. Very, very appropriate time to be talking about double verticals with everything that's, well, maybe not everything that's going on in the market, but a very, very market-appropriate tactic, especially in this extremely low volatility environment. We're in day 2 of an Options Weapons School launch. Some of you guys are new Options Weapons School folks from the last time we did it in May. So we got some potential new squadron mates rotating in and out. Had a good primary live trade brief this morning, talking about we legged in a couple iron condors on Apple and the S&P 500, and also took a look at Goldman Sachs long call diagonal with protective put. So make sure you watch the replay if you didn't get a chance to attend. Send out a text, send out the replay email, so everybody should have gotten that. Before we get airborne, obviously, I like to get into the real world, talk about everything and why would we employ this type of tactic, the double vertical tonight. But before we go further, any questions, concerns, oh, by the ways, smart remarks about the sessions today? Any questions on bullish spreads, bearish spreads, covered calls? Andreas, have you started? I have started. Can nobody hear me or see me? Can you guys hear me and see me? Why is he asking if, have you just started? Yes, I just started. Yes, guys, we started at 7 o'clock right on time. So, okay, good. Any questions about covered calls, cash secured puts, anything? Anything. Any questions about the overall market before I give us just a little bit of a strategic brief? It's pretty interesting that even though we did a strategic and an operational brief at 10 o'clock this morning, what a couple hours difference it makes. With the Donald Trump Jr. stuff, which is obviously a nothing burger, and we'll talk about all that stuff. So no questions? Good, because we'll just get and move on. I thought this was, I sent this tweet to Bernie Sanders. Meanwhile, in Venezuela, the real Mad Max emerges. Look at this. This is a truck full of sugar, okay? And look what happens to it. People on motorcycles with Molotov cocktails are like running down the sugar truck trying to hijack it. This literally is like Mad Max, folks. Everybody, you guys have all seen Mad Max, right? Mel Gibson and all that type of stuff. Absolutely not. So this is what socialism looks like, folks. This is what it ends up looking like and boiling down to. So God bless America. I was in a standard Facebook fight with somebody earlier today, and this, we live in a dictatorship. I'm like, do me a favor and leave. If you think Donald Trump is a dictator, leave. Go somewhere else that you think is great. Why don't you go down to Venezuela and maybe try and get some, sugar for your Starbucks? Oh yeah, they don't have those there. Oh, and trying to get sugar entails you hopping on your motorcycle and firebombing a sugar truck. So it's awful. So there's your look at real world socialism, folks. It works until you run out of other people's money, right? Okay. I also just posted this on Twitter, guys. This is comical. The Russian Foreign Ministry just said, guess what? They're going to expel 30 diplomats and actually seize some U.S. assets. So for all the frothing at the mouth from Democrats and liberals about Trump and Putin and collusion with Russia, if they actually colluded and Trump is Putin's puppet, they're doing a damn good job of hiding it and making us think otherwise. Well, Wiz, that's reverse psychology. That's KGB and Trumpism. Come on, folks. Are you kidding me? The Donald Trump Jr. shit is ridiculous. If my dad was running for president and I heard I might be able to get some dirt on the opposition, I'd go do lunch with the dude too, or the lady. Are you kidding me? The Clintons were are known for their opposition research. They would pay people to go out and find the dirtiest stuff about people and destroy their opponents. There is no crime here. Donald Trump Jr. did nothing illegal, and that's why the market did exactly what it did today. Let me get my charts up here. We were in the live trade brief, folks, when this happened. I'm sitting there, I'm like, why is the market pulling back right here? And it's like, well, Donald Trump, I'm like, no, that can't be the reason, because that's stupid. And that's why you're here at TGO, because a guy like me is going to tell you that. Thank you, Karen. I did call it. I hate this term now. It's a nothing burger, right? People, but what did we do today? It's used as a selling opportunity. Raytheon, why? Oh, one of my commanding officers club clients, I was talking about that. Yeah, nice job, Karen. I think you were one of the ones that said, "Hey, it might be the emails." To a guy like me, that makes no sense. To anybody who's got a brain, that was this. Okay, that right there. And what did I say, folks? I said sell into it or buy into it. And I would have put a bull put spread on right there. Well, oh my God, Wiz, you did. And actually, our two iron condors are looking pretty good. One's up 31% and one's up 41% in a day. Those are pretty shit hot returns in a day, guys. And that's obviously in the weekly options portfolio. Didn't get filled on my Goldman Sachs. I had to put in a little bit more coin into the portfolio, but I'll try and get filled on that. Karen, that's exactly right. Here's the funny part of the news cycle today with this Donald Trump Jr. implosion. Did anybody hear that in the news today? If you didn't, it's I wonder why. James Comey, some of the memos that he leaked contained classified information. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a felony punishable by 10 years in jail. Anybody hear that on the news? Nobody gives a shit, right? When Hillary Clinton deletes 33,000 emails that are under federal subpoena, and she wipes the server clean. What, with a cloth? No, you wiped it with the program, the Bullish program, and then you had somebody destroy it with a hammer. Those are felonies. But Donald Trump Jr. meeting with a Russian lady to maybe get some dirt on the Clinton campaign, Jesus Christ, my face is going to fall off. That's how stupid this is. But I got to be honest with you guys. I don't want the Democrats or liberals to wake up and realize how stupid they look. To New York and Los Angeles, this is red meat. This is great. We knew it. There's a collusion. Keep doing it, folks. You're overplaying your hand. Kind of like the Republicans and Bill Clinton with the impeachment and the Monica Gate. It was disgusting. We overplayed our hand. Get over it, guys. That's why we had this mini flash crash today and people moved on. Who cares? It's not illegal. The guy, I almost want this. I think I put this on Twitter. I think I said something like, dear Republicans, vote to impeach Trump now. You own the Senate. You own the House. It ain't going to happen. And then they can't do it again or they'll have nothing. Just do it. Get it out of the way now. Hold the vote, and then let's move forward. You know, it's ridiculous. Karen, well, if you're doing what we're doing here, we got some pretty good trades on here at Top Gun Options, and you'll make out fine. So, all right, guys, this is still an issue. We talked about this earlier in the PLTB. We talked about getting out of the FXI positions last week. I think we talked in the bearish double vertical webinar that, hey, I'd take a look at a bear call spread on FXI because it looks like Donald might start shooting, collusion with China. Yeah, okay, folks. I posted on the Facebook page, the TGO Facebook page, that there was a great article in the op-ed section about, how we get China to play ball with North Korea? We revoked the visa of every rich Chinese kid who's at Harvard, Yale, or MIT, at UCLA or USC or Stanford, and send their asses back to China. Boot them out of all of our universities. That'll wake China up and start throwing some financial sanctions. So we talked about that last week with with maybe a bear call spread on that one. So North Korea is still an issue on my radar. Harry, that's what we're talking about today, my friend. Still in the North Korea zone. We had a good THAAD test, Terminal High Altitude Air Defense System. Guys, I got to be honest with you, and I'm not telling you something you probably don't already know. If this thing works, yay, you're trying to hit a bullet with a bullet. This isn't really a strategic deterrent, man. Do you know that Russian and Chinese missiles, that it's MIRV, right? You guys know the term MIRV, right? Multiple independent reentry vehicles. So one rocket, folks, doesn't have one warhead on it. It has about 50. And half of them are decoys, half of them are nukes. You think that this THAAD system is to save us? It ain't. It might make Democrats feel a little bit better. Let's throw some money at missile defense. Hitting a bullet with a bullet and guess what? We don't usually select in defense contracting the highest bidder, do we? It's usually the lowest bidder. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. But guys, we had we did a round trip today after after a political event. Again, I chide people for when they chide me about my politics and talking about it in trading. Sell the State of the Union, Obamacare failure to repeal one, Comey memo, and then Mario Draghi, and then there's the whatchamacallit, there's your or no, that's today. There's your flash crash through the 50-day with the Donald Trump Jr. These are all political pullbacks here, guys, and it's comical. Okay, these have all been BTFD moments, and you saw it live in the primary live trade brief. No, Harry, don't worry about it. That's what I'm going to get into tonight. Tomorrow, where's she first? The House or the Senate? I forget. She's in front of the House or the Senate. Captain Yellen, Admiral Yellen. She's going to obviously discuss rates, unwinding her balance sheet, and we'll see if she talks like she did last week as a hedge fund manager. Well, I think equities are overvalued and vol's extremely low. Okay, man, are you a partner in that firm? Oh, you run the Fed. That's not your job, man. So her testimony tomorrow will be interesting. I don't think it's going to be earth-shattering. The Fed, she usually doesn't like making earth-shattering things, news at these, because if she does, she ends up having to repair it on Thursday. So it'll be interesting. Thought this was a good article, and it goes towards what's going to be a VIX discussion tonight. This guy, very, very smart guy, Harley Bassman, very, very smart guy, the convexity maven. He helped design the MOVE index, better known as the VIX for government bonds. Not going to get into it. You'll get bored. Just know this. This guy's like, as little as a 4% decline in one day could start a crash. He is right. I think it would be a little bit more than that. We're on the edge. If we see a 1 to 2% decline in the market, everybody does what? Holy crap, Wiz, is this the big one? And I go, no, 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 no. Buy it. He's right, though. I told you last time I was up in Chicago and I stopped by one of my old firms. Guess what? The biggest thing that all the partners are worried about, they point out to the trading floor and go, hey, Wiz, look at the age of 28, 29, 30-year-old kids. They haven't seen a down market. They haven't seen a panic. What are they taught in a panic? To buy the dip. Well, what happens when we see one of these and there ain't no liquidity and there ain't no buy? As we go through 4%, they're going to keep trying to buy? No, man. So this is a good segue to talking about volatility for tonight, because the tactic that we're going to cover is an awesome, awesome tactic. And let's get started. You guys know my take on vol. When vol is cheap, you do what? You buy it. Okay, right down here. Look at the VIX at 10. The resting heart rate has been around a 10 for the past 2.5 months. When vol's expensive, how do you define expensive? I know it's like the Justice Potter on the Supreme Court, right? I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it. That's a pretty sage quote there, but he's right. I know it when I see it. There's a big spike in vol, get short. Let's go back 6 months. What was the resting heart rate then? The resting heart rate was the 11. And then for whatever reason, we smacked, I think that was the Comey memo. Was it? No, here, whenever. I nailed all the political events behind this. My point being, apparently, after this last freak out, we said, no, the new resting heart rate is going to be a 10. And this is nuts, guys. So as we get into our tactic, let me go through our trade plan. Step one, my strategic mindset right now remains cautiously bullish. So now for the first time in a long time, I'm going to talk to you about the cautiously part. Bullish is easy, man. Look at the damn chart, Wiz, up and to the right. Macroeconomic data, mixed. Jobs, blistering 220. Average hourly earnings went down, so that takes the wind out of that one. But as you say, Wiz, in the absence of just complete obliterating something world event, we're going up, which we are. However, most likely something is going to happen to freak this market the hell out in the next fill in the blank 2, 3, 4 weeks. How do I know? I don't. But if we look in the rearview mirror, there's an event, there's an event, there's an event, and here's a bunch of couple events when the VIX popped. Okay, I don't day trade the VIX, folks. Guys do it. Obviously, who sit here and stare at the computers all day, you can day trade the hell out of the VIX. But we'll talk about this trade, about how it's better to be a hell of a lot early than 1 minute late with a volatility trade. So that's why we're taking a look at maybe putting it on. But this mini flash crash today it's not like more revelations are going to come out about Donald Trump Jr. Liberals and Democrats are frothing at the mouth tonight on TV that this is finally their smoking gun. Somebody in the Trump administration met with a Russian private citizen, wasn't a Russian official. That's not the point. It was a Russian. Doesn't matter if it was a homeless Russian, it was a Russian. But look at what happened. The market imploded. I even was confused. I'm like, if that's why we're pulling back, I should get in here and buy, and it's too late. So, well, Kevin, you might be right, man. The plunge protection team, everybody gets a trophy. But even with that, Kevin, you can't stop these, okay? You can't stop the idiot Republicans. I don't even think they're going to repeal it again this time. I think we're going to have another strike on this, and it's embarrassing that I called myself a Republican. How stupid can these guys be? So something most likely is going to happen to freak the market out. I'm not going to sit here, guys, and give you the lecture. You can talk to our booger eater, our resident booger eater, Doug Robertson, and he can talk about the VIX. Remember, when you're trading the VIX, you're not trading the VIX. Okay, does that make sense? It does in this sense. You're trading futures on the VIX. You're trading the S&P futures, the puts and calls 30 days out. Okay, there's contango, there's backwardation, there's all sorts of stuff in that equation that I'm just not going to get into. Instead of trading the VIX, there's at least 30, 35 other ETFs, ETNs that can somewhat mimic the VIX, but really don't. You want to talk about backwardation and contango and these things having to rebalance. The best proxy to trade vol short term is VXX. I hate Barclays. They're a bunch of criminals. Does anybody remember this scandal a couple years ago? I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Whenever I said the term Barclays, I always use the word criminal. I stopped doing it until tonight. Remember, does everybody, give me a vertical head nod if you know what LIBOR is. Everybody know what LIBOR is? L-I-B-O-R? Good. Okay. Absolutely. The London Interbank Offered Rate. It's the rate at which banks loan each other money overnight. Barclays traders were the guys that were very, very instrumental in setting that rate, and they were skimming, man. They were cheating. So technically, you ready for this? We could all have a class action lawsuit, okay? If you had a mortgage, a credit card, an auto loan, any sort of loan in the past, well, whenever they stopped manipulating it, you got cheated. I still don't understand why the U.S. government didn't sue Barclays and give us all a check. So LIBOR, where was it? LIBOR scandal came up. LIBOR scandal. So there you go. So who said that? Kevin didn't understand it. So there you go, guys. The LIBOR scandal, man. Yep. So here, I'll send you this link, Kevin. Read this. It'll piss you the hell off. 2012, it was the Financial Times, I think, that busted it. So UK regulators went after Barclays and fined the shit out of them. But did anybody see anything? So Kevin, this is some definitely good reading for you, some good, bunny slippers reading. It'll piss you off, my brother. These people. Did anybody go to jail? 200 million. I thought a couple traders went to jail. UBS was in on it. Deutsche Bank, 2.5 billion in fines. Did anybody look at this? 2.5 billion in fines by American regulators. Where did that go? I had a mortgage, I had an auto loan, I had a credit card. Where is my money? It's like when we bailed out AIG to the tune of $180 billion. Where is it? We don't get any of it. So anyway, guys, but tangent, but I think you get a lot of training and education out of these, at least to sound really smart at a cocktail party, to be able to say, oh, Barclays, yeah, they're a bunch of criminals. How dare you? I work at Barclays. Well, you worked at a criminal firm, but still. So look at the way, so this thing has to rebalance daily. It's got contango, but look at when the VIX, well, let's just, men lie, numbers don't. Let's take a look at the VIX versus VXX. So survey said, there you go. So the VIX is in what? It's in purple. So it's the VXX spikes when the VIX spikes and goes down, but the VIX stays the same, guys. It gets back down to its resting heart rate. VXX does not have a resting heart rate. So the more that time goes by on this thing, the better it is for us. So if anything, and they're going to have to rebalance VXX here soon because it goes to zero over time, guys. Look at this. Anybody, is that a chart you want to invest in? No, this ain't an investment. Here's the funny term I came up with about a month ago. Everybody remember this term? You ready for it? Tredge. Remember, guys, if I'm putting wait, I can't use the word trade. If I'm adding a position that's a hedge, I don't mind if it loses money. Go, hold on, Wiz. No, listen to me. A hedge makes all the other positions sleep better at night. A hedge is me sitting at this table going and having somebody walk in and go, hey, Wiz, let me take care of your USAA auto, home, and life for the next couple months. Yay? So that's what a hedge is. A trade, these Apple, the Apple and SPX iron condors, the Goldman Sachs long call diagonal, those are trades, man. If I don't make money on them, Wiz is going to be pretty pissed off. When a 75% win rate, we win 3 out of 4 times. Exactly, JD. I wish I had one of those. So I came up with a hybrid term. It's called a tredge. I would like to make money on a spike in volatility in the next couple weeks. And if it doesn't happen, it kind of serves as I sleep better at night. So I pulled that one out of my you-know-what and said what? That's a tredge, baby. That's a new term I came up with. So my strategic mindset, let's get to work here. Strategic mindset is what? Cautiously bullish. The target that I'm going to use to help with that cautiously is VXX. Now, let me ask you a question before I give you my commit criteria. You know what, Wiz? I think you're right. You had me at hello. Something's got to happen over the next couple weeks to freak the market the hell out. I mean, it has in the past, but then we get back on our horse. Let me ask you this. All right, Wiz, you had me at hello. I do think volatility might spike in the next couple weeks. I agree with you. If you think something is going to go up, Wiz, you're right. I think we might get a spike out of VXX over here somewhere. If you think something's going to go up, you ready for it? This is the biggest learning moment of tonight. If you think something is going to go up, what do you also think intuitively it's not going to do? Answer now. If you think VXX is going to go up, you also think what? It shouldn't take you this long to type, guys. There you go, Karen, Doug. Exactly. You also don't think it's going to go down. Good. Everybody give me a vertical head nod. This is a big deal, guys, because this is the reason for this tactic. If you think something is going to go up, if you think something is going to go up, what type of tactic that we have covered could you do? Wiz, you're right. I think VXX is going to pop. What could you do? What type of tactic could you employ if you think VXX is going to go up? Okay, well, not sell calls. No. If you sell calls, man, you're screwed. Selling calls means you're bearish. Okay, so nope. Well, Debbie, guys, listen to my question. You ready? If you think something's definitely going to go up, I'm trying to walk you into saying a bull call spread. But I like the way you guys are thinking, Brad. You guys know me. I'd rather do what? You guys are right. I'd rather sell a bull put spread. But now you know where I'm going, and I'm getting there quicker than I wanted to, and that's great. It's a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. You ready, guys? Why not do both? You ready for this? I promised you. I hate a bull call spread. Hate it. It's a debit spread, man. I hate the theta. I hate looking at it each day going, please go up. With the bull put spread, I do what? Hey, man, that thing's moving sideways. Awesome. It went up. Awesome. Hey, it went down a little bit today. Awesome. Making money 3 ways. So, Jeff, you're exactly right. I'm going to talk to you about a tactic tonight. That debit spread that some of you might have learned before you got to TGO, I'm going to have somebody else pay for it. Now, I call this trade an afterburner trade. Why? Because if this thing's working for us, you have two trades on with the same strategic mindset. In this case, bullish. Okay? So I am bullish on volatility. So what could I do? I could sell a bull put spread. Let me see what strikes these are. Right around, I don't know, 12 and a half, 12, and buy a bull call spread, maybe the 13 and a half, 14. Isn't that awesome? Mind blown. Here we go. I rambled through about 20 minutes of my commit criteria, so you got it. Here's the tactic. It's called a double vertical. Expiration selection. I'm going to pull up the calendar and I'm going to throw a dart. I think something's going to happen between now and the first week in August. How do you know? I don't. My call sign's Wiz, not Nostradamus, guys. You could do a week, you could do 2 weeks, you could do 3 weeks. When I'm looking at vol and getting bullish on vol, it feels to me now, and again, having 3,000 hours in the Hornet, you get a feel for this market. I'm going to go out to I'm going to give this trade about 3.5-ish weeks to work. It seems like that's the time frame, doesn't it? If you look in our rear view mirror, that's what I'm talking about, Kevin, right now. Listen, it seems like every 3 or 4 weeks, something happens out of the blue, and we have a moment where I have to send a text, or in a sit rep, I say, hey guys, cool your jets. This ain't the Fred Sanford moment. This isn't the big one, Elizabeth. We ain't having a heart attack. Buy the dip. But the VIX in volatility can spike 10, 15, 20, 30% in a couple minutes, right? That usually has been happening every 3 to 4 weeks. So that is why I am picking this time frame. Kevin, got it? So I'm going to go out to this. No, Harry, I'm actually worried about whenever the Fed chief speaks. It was more dangerous under Bernanke, because we were always like, oh my God, is he going to taper? Is he going to start the pulling the punch bowl away? With her, it's not as lethal to the market. But this is a good idea to maybe have this on before she talks. You never know, man. She could come off the turnbuckle, like a big pro wrestler there, right into the market and go, hey man, we're not raising rates fast enough. The economy's doing a hell of a lot better. We're going to raise half or full point next time, maybe. Holy crap. The market would go freak mode like it did on Donald Trump Jr. for about 20 minutes, and then wake up and go, wait a minute. If she's thinking about raising it that much, she must think that things are really good in the economy. Bullish. And then the VIX would crash and the market would go higher. So that's why with these volatility trades, guys, you have to be Johnny on the spot. If you just let them sit there, hey, spike in volatility, let me ride this one for a little bit, and crap, the VIX is back down to 10. You turn a really, really high gaining trade into what? A losing trade. So here we go. Tactical employment, step 4, let's build it. What did I say, the 12 and a half, 12? So let's, on my options house platform, not that piece of shit E-Trade platform, I'm going to click create spread, and I'm going to go over to this tactic right here. Vertical spread. Okay? The Dorsia trade. JD, I got that. I'm not a guy, I can't stand people who repeat words, folks. So, hey, Wiz, I need to hit the ATM machine. So you need to hit the automated teller machine. I don't use double words, but Trade Monster did. I used to give John and Pete Najarian shit about this. Why do you call it a vertical spread? It's a double vertical. So you ready? Before I even play with my strikes, look at the picture, guys. There should be light bulbs bursting all over your heads right now going, look at the picture. It's two vertical spreads on top of each other with the same strategic mindset. In this case, bullish on volatility. Remember, guys, just because, this is a bullish double vertical, Wiz wants the market to, no. We need the market to implode or for something uncertain to happen for this trade to make money. So don't think bullish double vertical like he's bullish. I am on volatility. Had to take that quick segue so people don't get confused, because sometimes every once in a while people are like, wait a minute, you're bearish on the market and you're doing a bull. Yeah, I am. So here we go. Now let's take a look at the strikes. And since, I'm not in my paper, it isn't paper trading, but we're out of the market hour. So let me just put 125 in here for now. Not there. and we'll take a look at the risk. All right, so what did I say? Oh, this is perfect. I might even go, no, these are wrong. 12.5 12s. I was wondering why that was such a good deal. All right, this is a good looking trade. You ready for this? Here we go with the double vertical explanation. Again, if you think something's going up, bull call spread, right there, debit spread. But hold on, Wiz. You said you're going to get somebody to pay for it. Yep. If you think VXX is going up and it ain't going down, throw on a bull put spread. I'm going to sell, well, let me throw 100. Let's see if 125 is realistic for my $5,000 old SOP. 150. Let me do 150. And that should be around $5,000. That's fine. 150. All right, so I'm going to sell 150. Why 150? Max risk. Why August 4th? I just talked about it for 10 minutes. Why the 12.5? That's right around at the money. That's where I want to put it, right at the money. Okay. Then, Wiz, you're an idiot. Donald Trump passed Obamacare on Friday. North Korea gave up their missiles on Monday, and the VIX is at 1, you moron. Well, guess what? I am a moron and didn't see any of that coming, but guess what? I bought 150 of the August 4th 12 puts. So if we do go, if Jesus, Ganesh, and Buddha all come back to life and there's no volatility in the world, our losses are stopped out below 12. You ready? Bull put spread, credit spread. Okay? So if you were up over 70%, do you still hold with 3 days left? Nope. Harry, that hits my radar. If I see a 7, 8, or 9 in my gain with a credit spread, I start looking at getting out, man. I can't, you know what, let me take that back, Harry. I can't answer that. If I see a 70% on my platform gain and there's 3 days left, I'm starting to get a little nervous, like, hey, man, hogs get fat, but pigs get slaughtered, so let me, I don't know, Harry. I can't, that's a hypothetical, man. I need to know what's going on. If the market was rolling over like you read about in Rollover magazine, I might hold it all the way to expiration to get max profit. So I can't, I know you do, man. You're a smart dude. So that, yeah. All right. Credit spread. We covered this 2 weeks ago, folks, or a week and a half ago. This bull put spread is a credit spread. So you know what Wiz is going to do? I'm going to take some of that coin that I'm making and I'm going to buy a bull call spread. Light bulbs turning on. I'm going to buy the 13.5 calls and sell the 14s. Bull call spread, debit spread. Not going to waste time tonight, guys, on the dollar-wide strike, the contracts. I did that already last week or the last session and the session before. Watch the replay. But you could do a dollar-wide. You could do less contracts. You could move these. Wiz, I think if it really spikes, it'll be above 14 and then do the 14.5. It'll change this. But here's what I have to get to, guys. Look at this. This should put the biggest smile on everybody's face right now. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a net credit spread. Ho, 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 ho. Hold on, Wiz. You're telling me that the market is paying me to be long volatility until August 4th. You're telling me that I'm going to get paid a credit to be long vol in case the shit hits the fan with something. Yes. You got it, Harry. You got it, man. The magic. Isn't this cool, guys? Now let's play with the metrics. 19 cent, 20 cent credit. Create order. And again, mid-market. Let me talk about tactical employment here. Just like, and we'll talk about this, I think diagonals are next or iron condors are next, guys. You might have to leg into this. I demonstrated over yesterday and today legging into an iron condor. You might have to leg into the double vertical. I will fire this trade at 19 cents. The market makers see this as a bullish, they call it a bullish double vertical, not John and Pete, the vertical spread. They sit here at their market maker screen and go, okay, this guy wants 150 contracts of a double vertical. So they see it as one trade. But I'm going to tell you guys, usually you can get better pricing by maybe breaking the trade up and putting the bull put spread and the bull call spread on separately. Which one do you do? If it's going down a little bit, put on the bull call spread because it's a little cheaper to buy and then the bull puts. When it comes to a double vertical, guys, if I'm not getting filled, this is my Starbucks rule, guys. If I'm not getting filled, you know, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes by the time I get back from Starbucks, I end up breaking the trade up and put it in as the bull put spread, bull call spread, okay? Good. Now, analyze. You guys know what to do here, man. As soon as I click the analyze button, the only place your eyes are going to go to is where? Max potential loss. And that's right around my old SOP of about 4,700 bucks. Okay? Holy crap. All right, Wiz, I'm cool with that. I don't mind potentially losing this as a hedge. Look at that max potential profit, over 10 grand. Is that possible? Yeah. How many of you were here around the Brexit? How many here saw me make 22 grand? I had a trade on a bullish double vertical going into the Brexit for 11 grand. And I'm going to show you what to do a bearish double vertical. Soon as the Brexit vote happened and the volatility went through the roof, I did what? I closed the trade, rolled inverted, and did the exact opposite of this. Kevin, I'll talk about that in a minute. So ladies and gentlemen, in the Brexit, we made 22 grand. And you ready for this? You don't hear it that often, right? I was wrong. If you were here for the Brexit, what did I do? I flipped a coin. I'm like, guys, I don't know. Obama going over there and giving a speech before the vote, like, you guys better vote to stay, or, you know, I don't know if I got time to work a trade deal with you. What a jerk. What an ass. The Brits don't like Lando Calrissian from Cloud City showing up and giving him a lecture on staying in the EU. So I should have known that moment that they were going to leave. But I was wrong. I said, I don't know. I think they stay. I was wrong, folks, on the Brexit, and I made $22,000 for my members. Can I get a hell yeah? Who was here for that? The same thing around the election, guys. You guys know I got that right. But going into the election, volatility was going through the roof. As it got closer to the election, what happened? The idiots at Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and JP Morgan said, holy crap, Wiz might be right. The polls might be wrong. We have to hedge against this happening. We made, Karen, that's exactly right. You were here, Karen. I made about 35 grand in VXX trades, guys. I miss those days. I miss the Fed days of Ben Bernanke going into a Fed meeting like, oh my God, is he going to taper? Is he going to take away the punch bowl? I didn't care. I put on a bullish double vertical. Why? Because uncertainty. Remember, volatility, just picture a balloon. My kids having water balloon fights every day during the summer. Blow up the balloon and put volatility on it. It's uncertain. And then when something is known, you ready for this? It's known. Let go of the balloon and vol's going to collapse. Okay? So, yeah, you can make 10 grand on this trade. But look at the probabilities. They're pretty low. Of max, because guess what? Trade Monster, Options House, E-Trade, whatever the hell, is showing you what? The best and worst case scenarios with this. Best case, you make 10,350 bucks. Worst case, you lose 4,700. Now I'm going to talk about this, and we'll talk about it. It was exciting, better if I participated. Karen, I'd say that about a lot of things in my life. Well, you're here now, guys, and you can participate. But I will tell you that we're not seeing. It's got to happen, guys. You know, there's the Obamacare, there's the Comey memo, but you know, the whole Brexit and all that stuff. Those were really some big swings in the market. Remember those 300, 400 point Dow down days or up days, like one day to the next? That was awesome. This whole you can't keep this market down is getting a little, you know, it's getting a little boring, to be honest with you. 1 second here, guys. Sweet. Okay, so let's talk about this trade and management of it. And look at this. For those of you going, exactly, Harry, something most likely, whether it's North Korea, Putin, I just told you, man, Putin's going to expel 30 diplomats. Now we're going to get into a pissing contest with Russia. That ain't good, man. The markets like stability. They don't like this crap. So here's the trade. Low probability of max profit, low probability of look, this should put a smile on your face, guys. Whoever said about getting paid for insurance was right. Look at this. This is the one that should make you smile. There's at least a 57% probability of what? Of breaking even. That's what should make you smile. Wiz, I can have this trade on through August 4th, and with a 57% probability of at the money vol, breaking even, that can help you sleep better at night, can it? But again, remember, I'm calling this a trudge. It's a trade and it's a hedge. I think something's going to happen. In the past, I'd say I don't know if something's going to happen to freak the market the hell out in the next couple of weeks. That was a hedge. When the Rumsfeld, unknown. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. Let me throw a hedge on. Now I'm like, I'm pretty sure something's going to happen. It has been happening. Whether it's Loretta Lynch getting indicted, Hillary Clinton, James Comey, Donald Trump Jr., healthcare, North Korea, something goes bump in the night. So I wouldn't mind making money on this damn trade. So look at that. There should be the bright shining moment of tonight's training session. Holy crap, Wiz. I am bringing in a credit potentially on this trade of how much? Preview. $2,900. We'll roll down a little bit here. And yeah, I get the big commissions here. Then do a dollar wide. I'm not talking commissions. Let's roll down, guys, and say $2,500. The USAA rep knocked on my door tonight and said, hey, Mr. Buckley, you've been a great member. We're going to take care of your bill to the tune of $2,500 for the next until August 4th. Can I get a hell yeah? Do you guys like that? I love it. Now let's go back to trade management because there's a lot we can talk about here, okay? Because there's a lot of trade management. Look at this. This trade also makes money. It's a credit spread, folks. Remember, with a credit spread, we make money three ways. VXX goes up, VXX hangs out, VXX goes down a little bit but stays above the break even, right? Good. Now let's talk about the best case scenario. Here we go. Let's say we put this trade on, we get filled tomorrow, and something bad happens. North Korean artillery piece lands in Seoul, artillery barrage back and forth, but it's brief. Some people killed. The VIX goes to 30, and VXX goes, up to 15. Ladies and gentlemen, if I see a violent spike in the direction of my double vertical, what can I do? Step one in trade management, like the guy in the song said, Wiz, go on, take the money and run. Yeah. Okay, step one, write that one down in your trade management plan. Step two would be what? What else? Kevin, you're right there with me, man. Get rid of the debit spread. If we see a violent spike, remember, guys, let's do the visual here. Look down there at Magical Theta if you forgot your credit spread lessons from me. Give me push-ups. Look at this. Positive theta. Unched on the day equals what? Time decay. So, Kevin's right. If we see a violent spike in the direction of our bullish double vertical, why don't we close the debit spread first? Because it don't like theta, folks. Wiz, I'm going to close my bull call spread, and I'm going to let the bull put spread ride. Great potential management tactic. So that's number two. Number one, close it. Take the profit. Like Harry or somebody asked earlier, hey, if 70%, guys, you got to, you know what, Wiz, my bullish double vertical's up $7,000. Get out of it. Well, it could make 10, and it could also lose 4,600. Remember, guys, and I'm going to talk about inversing this trade in a couple seconds because you have to be early with volatility trades, getting in and out of them. Okay? So we could close the debit spread and let the bull put spread ride. Now, somebody tell me, looking at my screen, what else can we do? What else could we do if we still think there's more vol to go? And I'm kind of hovering over something that should kind of give you maybe sort of an idea, maybe potentially to do something, maybe sort of. Harry, hang on to that one. I'm pointing at the answer. What could I do if I get a violent move in the direction of my VXX? Rick, you kind of got it, my brother. Close half of them. How about doing this, guys? This is me with my $5,000 old SOP. How about I close 75 of the contracts and let the rest of them ride? Does that make sense? Give me a vertical head nod. It's almost like a dumb moment. Oh, crap, you're right, Wiz. If you got 150 contracts and you got a nice profit, get rid of half of them, man. Go on, take the money and run, and then maybe hold on. So You know what? That just hit me. That's the definition of a trade. You guys saw this in action. You ready for this? The trade part of it is this. Wiz, you are right. The VIX volatility spiked. I'm going to close out 75 contracts. That's the trade, and I make money on it. Now, the hedge part of it is what? Leaving the rest of it on in case the world does go to hell in a handbasket. That was a pretty cool moment. 7:45 on July 11th. Write that one down in your dear diary before you go to bed. That's awesome. There's your trade moment. Close the damn half the contracts. Nice money-making trade. Leave the rest on as a hedge. I'm pretty proud of myself. All right. Now, that's the good. That's, yay, Wiz. Why don't you talk about the bad? I'm going to. I don't use like with my other credit spreads, like an adjust or an eject level with this credit right here. You know what I do this? You know what I do here? I do a dollar amount. If I'm spending if I'm risking $4,600 on this trade and I lose half of it, let's just go 50%. If I lose $2,300, guys, that's when I scratch my chin and go, all right, man, this market's just, you can't keep it down. I'm not going to sit here and go to max loss. Maybe I can roll it. And then now I'm not even going to waste time on it. I'm just going to review real quick. Maybe I scratch my chin and go, you know what? Maybe I can roll this out a couple weeks because the freak out moment didn't happen. Maybe I could roll the strikes down or out or all that stuff, guys. It's a net credit spread, so you can do all the normal credit spread adjustments. Okay? But for me, I had to say that as your instructor. I'm going to tell you, I don't do that. If I lose, and again, I hate using the word lose because if it's a hedge, you didn't lose, man. All your other things are green. They should be. You never lose, just like, me pulling in the port in Hong Kong with my squadron on the Abraham Lincoln. You never lose when you're buying for your buddies, right? So if I lose about $2,300 on this, hate saying lose, if I am down $2,300 on this, that's a better way to say it, I usually close the trade and look to put on a new one maybe out to August, 21st. Does that make sense? I know a lot of you, or sometimes, when you're new to these, you're like, oh, Wiz, can I roll this trade, the vertical? And I just don't, man. I go, my window for thinking the market is going to freak out was wrong. It didn't freak out. Let me reestablish a new window of potential freaked outness. I'm not a big roller adjuster down and out. And it's you stick with your thesis, and if it didn't work, get out of it. Okay? Give me a vertical head nod that all of that has absorbed, okay? Because I'm getting ready to roll inverted. Good. All right, Rick. So no more questions on the bullish double vertical. You ready? Don't get vertigo, man. Nobody get airsick. Ladies and gentlemen, this shit happens quick. Look at this right here. Comey memo. Oh my God, the Dow's down over 300 points in 15 minutes. What happened by the next day? Guys like me were on my sit rep going, the dude's a liar. He either committed perjury a month ago by saying under oath, he's a Boy Scout, right? I love how the liberal media built him up to be this tall, the last honorable man in Washington. The dude's a liar and he's a piece of shit. He lied under oath, right? A month before this, before he leaked to the New York Times classified material, which is a felony, he said what under oath? Nobody's ever pressured me to do anything untoward or to obstruct justice. So, Mr. Comey, you either lied in your testimony earlier or you're lying today. So, I, the next day, said that was stupid. So, if you had a bullish double vertical on like we did, most of you were here during this, does everybody remember? I think it was in what? I don't have my notes, they're on the other table. In accelerated retirement. This was an Obama teachable moment because we had one of these on, guys, remember? We had a VXX bullish double vertical in AR, accelerated retirement. If you're in options weapons school, you don't have access to that. If you want it, shoot us an email to support and we'll give you the family discount. Here's the point. This was like Tuesday or Wednesday. And so a bunch of people asked, like, hey, Wiz, that VXX bullish double vertical expires on Friday. It's down about $2,000. What do you think? And I'm like, here's what I'm thinking, man. I put that on as a hedge. And with my luck, between now and Friday, something's going to happen to freak the market the hell out. What the hell happened on Thursday? Is it on my desktop? VXX. No, it's in one of my slides, guys. I kept it for posterity just for this purpose of training. What happened? By Thursday, that VXX trade that was down $2,000 turned into what? It had an $8,000 turnaround in a matter of 15 minutes. It went from being down $2,000 to being up $6,000. I got out of it around $4,000, but net the round trip was about an $8,000 round trip, and I got out for whatever it was, $6,000 or I forget, $4,000. No, $4,000. Sorry, it was a six net. If I'd stayed in, it was $4,000 net. Sorry. Isn't that awesome? Now, here's how you have to do that, though. My dad, bless his heart, miss him every day, but greatest man this world's ever had besides obviously Jesus. He'd come and visit. He'd say, "Hey son, can you drop me off at the airport tomorrow at like 8 o'clock?" I'm like, "Dad, your flight's at 2. Did you get an earlier one? You don't like me?" He's like, no. You know, I'll read my book. I'll be fine. Just if I'm late, if I'm 1 minute late, you never know what's going to happen. They're not going to bring the jet back for me. Well, knowing my dad and the type of man he was, they should have brought the damn jet back for him. But you get my point. If you're 1 minute late with getting out of your bullish double vertical and getting bearish, I mean, you don't have to do this, guys. If you see a big spike in vol, Wiz, I'm up $10,300 as this market's rolling over. Some of my longs are getting hurt, but that's why they're called longs. This is what you should be doing, guys. Hedging the front month, July, August, September, and having those Jan 19. So when you do get kicked in the jimmy, hey, Wiz, I made 10 grand on this VXX, and my Apple long call diagonal is down about 2 grand. Take the damn 10 grand from your bullish double vertical and put it into the Apple, man. Starting to see a method to my madness? I'm not, but hopefully you guys are. My point being is this, guys. So if you see a violent spike in volatility, you can close the trade out and make money. But here's what you can do is if this position was on, so if I traded this position, guys, and it was in here as a bullish double vertical, when I clicked close adjust, what happens on the options house platform? It reverses the strikes. Look at this screen right here. That would be sell, that would be buy, that would be sell, that would be buy. It reverses it. So let me give you an example with Brexit. Holy crap, I don't know what's going to happen, bullish double vertical. I'm watching Fox and this and the overnight returns. I'm like, holy shit, I'm closing this thing. It's up. It could have made like 12 or 13 grand. I'm like, I'm getting out for 11. And you have to know this, guys. Look at the chart of the VIX or even VXX. Let me put the order ticket out of the way. What happens after volatility spikes? Somebody answer me. Kevin, that's what I'm talking to you about. If you're missing spikes, it drops, Harry. Kevin, I'll get back to your question here. That's exactly right, guys. So here's the issue. If you don't, this is why I started by this webinar tonight, this training tonight, by saying what? It's almost to the point now where you can't do a Brexit or an election trade. What is coming up that we could? There's no government shutdown. There was usually events in the past, guys. The government shutdown threats, I loved it. I loved it when that sun, like I'm one to talk, the suntan John Boehner would be like, we might have a government shutdown. I'd throw on a bullish double vertical because I knew the Republicans were just stupid enough to maybe shut the government down. They did. We made 11 grand on that bullish double vertical. And then before that dude came out to the microphone with his lip quivering and smelling like tobacco, I closed it and did what? I rolled inverted and did the exact opposite and did a bearish double vertical. Okay? So I got to be honest with you guys. I don't see too many opportunities on the horizon of planned events. And I'm going to wrap up here in a couple minutes with, I'm going to fool some of you guys. And if you know the answer, you're not allowed to say it. But, well, Harry, that's what we're brainstorming about. I don't know any. In the past, we knew about the Brexit, what, like 8 months in advance. We knew about the election a year and a half in advance. there's not going to be a government shutdown. The only events coming up, guys, are like the Obamacare Obamacare repeal and what? Guys, help me out here. It's the right now, Harry. It's the that was your answer. Good, you're right, Harry. There are more unknown events for me coming up, guys, than known. North Korea, Russia, Iran, oil bear market. Smoking literally gun from Donald Trump. We found his tweets to Vladimir Putin. We found his no shit account, and he's a mole. I don't know what they are, man. It sucks because in the past I knew him. I hate being the guy that shows up surfing and they tell me, oh, you should have been here yesterday. It was 8-foot waves. I'm like, all right, jerk, I'm here today. Or going to Aspen. Oh my God, Wiz, the powder was over our heads yesterday. It's slush today. So I hate saying this to you guys, but back in the day, whether it was a Bernanke Fed meeting, a potential government shutdown, a Trump election, or a Brexit, those were known big events that we could put these around. Rick, no, there isn't. And I'm not poking at Rick. No, there isn't. Don't take it like that, my friend. Rick, what did Mitch McConnell say the other day? What has he been saying about a government shutdown? He's the Senate Majority Leader, guys, if you don't know who Mitch McConnell is. What did he say, Rick? There will be no government shutdown. And he means it. Before John Boehner, he couldn't control his people. Mitch McConnell, if he says there ain't going to be a government shutdown, there ain't going to be a government shutdown. I get the whole, if they don't fund the border wall, we're going to, I don't think it's going to be a big deal, Rick. I could be wrong, my brother. Then we could put one of these on. At least maybe even put a bull put spread on, Rick, if you don't want to do the afterburner trade of the double vertical. But you're right, Rick. That is an event on the radar that's potentially coming up. So well done. Kevin, it's a Captain Kirk. Kevin jumping on the new at 7:56 on July 11th. Kevin added to my trade with a Captain Kirk trade. You're right, because Kevin's got a great point. We're boldly going where we don't know if there's going to be any volatility, guys, right? Trump tweets a good one. You're right. What else? Harry, well, I'll go back to that. I showed you the typical chart for the P&L chart for it's right here. That's what it looks like. Okay. But guys, government funding, continuing resolution not resolved. Rick, you're absolutely right. They haven't resolved that. So this could be a potential one of these. What's the date on that? My kids were eating dinner on the dining room table, so I came into the kitchen table. I'm in the dining room, and all my notes are over there. Rick, what's the time frame on that? Would this trudge cover it, Rick, or not? Because you're right, that might be a good one. I like the way you're thinking. You know the Republicans will want reduced. Exactly, man. They're pushing it. Yeah, I know, man. So don't know the timing. Okay, we can look into it. Christine, that's a good one too. Now you know the method to my madness. This is why we start every training session with what? You're right, Christine. Putin. Hey, you know what? F you, Trump. Oh, last year, Obama threw out 35 of my dudes and shut down their frat house in, Potomac, Virginia, or one of the suburbs. Now it's your turn. This is potentially volatile. But the only thing I really see on my radar, guys, these are all good events, and I'm glad we're all talking about this. Harry, I think they announced today, Mitch McConnell announced that he ain't letting anybody go home. There ain't, or he's delaying it by 2 weeks. I personally think the Republicans, the House and the Senate should not be in recess until they either pass or repeal the damn thing. It's disgusting. They make how much a year and don't work, and they're on vacation half the time. But here's the one of the big takeaways, guys, with the VXX trades. If you're going to do these, this ain't the Brexit or the election where you had a couple days to maybe go, you know what, I think I squeezed the last amount of vol out of here. Let me get out. Here is a perfect example, ladies and gentlemen, of how quick you might have to move with these. You ready? There it is right there. This probably would have been a great, nice, profitable trade. I think one of my Commanding Officers Club clients had this on. Rene up in Canada. I think Rene had this on, and he might have gotten in and out. It's almost to the point where you have to day trade these guys, and that's just not me for you guys as a portfolio panel. Okay? As a portfolio manager, not panel. That was stupid. But it's funny that we've been talking about the negative. Why does volatility go up? What was the word that I asked you guys to write on the balloon? What word did I ask you to substitute? It could be fear, Christine. What was the other word? It begins with a U. You got it. Uncertainty, unknown, Harry. You got it. So watch this. Does everybody, this is my standard example. Right here. I remember exactly where I was. I was giving a keynote in the Fairmont in San Francisco to Bank of America Merrill Lynch financial advisors. We actually stopped the keynote to go watch something. The VIX went from 11 or 12 to 24. The VIX, ladies and gentlemen, right here, doubled in a matter of a couple days. Let me ask all of you a question. The VIX going from 11 to 12 to 22. The VIX doubled in a couple days. What was the market doing? Was the market going up, down, or sideways with the VIX doubling, 100% gain? What happened? Sideways, up, down usually, up, Robert down, Karen, you stole my thunder. Ladies and gentlemen, you ready for this? Ready? Mind blown. Here it comes. And I'm going to refresh your memory. Who just said that? No, not that part. Karen, did you say? No, Christine. Christine gets a half a gold star. Positive things can cause volatility. You ready? But this wasn't necessarily positive. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a Fed meeting. I think it was in the beginning of June. This was like the middle of May, the VIX spiked. This was the first meeting. Remember, up until this point, guys, Ben Bernanke and his Fed and his Lincoln Town Car were printing out $85 billion a month in liquidity. I don't care how much I work out at the gym. I don't care how much you work out. There ain't no way you're sticking your finger in that liquidity dike and stopping $85 billion a month. But this was the first Fed meeting where the market's like, holy crap, we're hearing rumors that he might taper. Taper's a polite Wall Street word for what? Take away the punch bowl. What happened? The market was getting pumped full of $85 billion a month in steroids, and the market was going up. So whoever wrote that, you ready for this? Market up, VIX up, something is up. That is a perfect, I love using this. I'll use this till the day I die, guys, until we get another one of these. Did we? No, we didn't have one. I thought something was going. My memory's going. This is the best one, guys, because it was awesome. We had QE4 going on, but wait a minute. He might be calling last call, and the VIX doubled, guys. So here's the takeaway I wanted to give you. Volatility can spike based on what? Just uncertainty. And it even can go up on a little bit of good. I've seen the market up on good news because it is uncertain. Okay? Isn't that cool? Kevin, can you use this as a trigger for one of these trades? Use what as a trigger, Kevin? What's that mean? Can you use what as a trigger? So guys, has learning occurred? Okay, I went about 3 minutes over. Yes, Kevin. Market up, VIX up, something is up. Usually, Kevin, what I like to tell my members is it's usually a hold your nose rally. The day, Kevin, if you're watching the stock market and all of a sudden, hey man, Wiz, the market's up 50 and the S&P's up 10. Why is the VIX up? Kevin, you know what I call that? I call that a hold your nose rally. That means the market, guys like me are going, hey man, I'm cautiously bullish. I'll bid this market up, but I'm a little nervous. It's called a hold your nose rally, Kevin. Market up, VIX up, something's up. Remember, sitting here in beautiful South Florida, guys, the best time to buy hurricane insurance is when? When it ain't hurricane season. When it's beautiful and clear and a million miles of visibility out. The worst time to buy hurricane insurance is what? When Hurricane Matthew, hit Florida, well, North Florida in the fall. Okay? So market up, VIX up, something's up. Okay? That's the ultimate takeaway for tonight. Okay? So I'm not going to get into the bearish double vertical because literally all you have to do is close the damn bullish double vertical. It's literally a flying hornet, guys. Here's you in your bullish double vertical. Hey, I made 10 grand. And reverse the trade and do a bearish double vertical. Why? Because it gets back to its median, folks. Volatility is going to get back to its resting heart rate. It's free money. I made X amount of money on VXX trades going into the Trump election. And then I threw a dart. You remember this, guys? Remember the, oh my God, even if he wins, we're going to implode 10 to 15%. I said, most likely that's not going to happen. So I went out. What did I do, guys? Who was here? I went out 2 weeks after the election. Election was what, a Tuesday? I didn't go out to Friday because I still figured the rest of that week would be, oh my God, this guy's the Antichrist. I figured by the following Friday, vol would get back to its resting heart rate. And check out the big brain on Wiz. Another career call for me. Look at that. Where's November? Holy crap. And then I was wrong. I probably could have gone out to that Friday because it imploded before that. Okay. Good questions. Market down, VIX down, something. If the market is down and the VIX is down, I don't, yeah, that's a weird one. Kevin, can you quickly show that? Show what? Kevin, just build yourself a double vertical bullish ticket. I can't show you, well, I mean, I could build a bearish double vertical, but it's the same thing, man. This would be it. If I'm out here, if something that happens out here, I really don't want to take up too much time, people's time here, but do a bearish double vertical. It would be this. Create spread, and you just flop it around, man. You sell what? A bear call spread and buy a bull put spread, right? Actually, no, we'd go all the way down to 12.5 here and the 12s. 12.5, 12s, 14, 13. And you can play with these to make it a credit spread, obviously. 14s, something like that. Okay. And this one ain't a credit spread right now, guys, because it's pretty far out of the money. But this one would end up being a debit spread. But look at that. Oops, I have them backwards. Sell 150 of the 13.5, buy the 14s, 12, 50 cent. What's going on here? Why is that max risk like that? I don't know. I'm fading fast. Jeff, do you use this tactic on? Yes. Yeah, not weekly, Jeff. I've done bullish double verticals. I usually don't do them on ETFs or individual symbols, guys. Or I'm sorry, on individual stocks. I look at this one. I do it on. Write this one down, guys. SDS. Okay, SDS. This is the Pro Shares Ultra Short S&P 500. Meaning what? This goes down as the market goes up. So this is literally a hedge, and the ultra short means what? It's a 2 times ETF, meaning double the return. So let me, if you think I'm lying, let me overlay the S&P 500 on it. So as the S&P goes up, SDS goes down. As the SPX goes down, this goes up. Okay. So I do double verticals on 2 symbols usually, SDS and VXX. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Doubt the property casualty person there is. I'm actually getting a call. What channel is it? I'm in. Hold on. I'll text you the breakdown as soon as I'm done with the meeting with the producer. Hold on. What channel on Sirius is it again? Question mark. Guys, I'm going to be on, if you want to stay up, at 11 o'clock tonight. And I'm going to be on Patriot Radio. What channel is that, 165? I'll shoot out a text, man. If you guys want to stay up and listen to Patriot Radio and me vent and get interviewed by John Carter, I'll hook you up. How do you, Kevin, how do I choose what? Why Wiz? Guys, give me, because you really, this is what I failed to say. Here we go. The only time I use this tactic, I don't know why I didn't say this at the beginning. I owe you 50 push-ups. I only sit up and listen to me if you're clubbing in the Bahamas. Been a long day for me with my screw up this morning. So listen to me. I only do this tactic if I am 3 of something. You ready for it? I am really, really, really bullish or really, really, really bearish. And I'm not shitting you, folks. You need 3 of them. If you got 2, you don't do it. If you got 1, hey, I'm really bullish. If you're really bullish, do a bull put spread or the bull call spread, whatever you want to do. This is an afterburner trade, guys. If you're really, really, really something, you can use it on anything. Wiz, I'm really, really, really bullish on Apple earnings. I think that's foolish to trade Apple earnings unless you're doing some insider trading, and then you're a felon. Unless you're on Wall Street, and then it's acceptable. So I don't do these, guys, usually unless I know an event's coming up that I think's just going to crush it. And then you're playing with fire, man. I know guys who at peak 6 would do bullish double verticals around FDA announcements around biotech stocks, and then they got fired after losing $4 million. Don't do bullish or bearish double verticals on stuff you don't know. But let me end on this. You ready? If or when the market decides to implode, oh my God, war in North Korea, God forbid something happens, guys, we're going to do bearish double verticals like you freaking read them out on what? SPX, the Russell. If we're rolling over, we're going to be the carnivores, man. We're going to be the buzzards circling. So I should have caveated that all with, in a normal market, if you can call this normal, I usually only do double verticals on these hedges, okay? Why? Because they're like bilge pumps, man. The USS Top Gun options. Here's our aircraft carrier. Market gets hit a little bit. Our bilge pumps turn on, make a little bit of profit while our longs get a little bit of hit. We make some money, like as opposed to other idiots out there. But if we take massive torpedoes, we ain't going to sink, man. We'll bail out of our Jan 19s if we can get the liquidity. And even if we can't, we're going to pound this market into the dirt with a bullish double vertical on STS and bearish double verticals on SPX. You got it. The Russell, all those things, man. That's what we're gonna pound. So I misspoke. I usually only in a normal market do SDS and VXX, but if everything's going to hell in a handbasket, guys, this is your break glass in case of emergency tactic to pound something into the dirt. Or let's be happy. Let's end on a high note. Or you hear something's great. I don't know. Elon Musk, it turns out to be Jesus Christ's stepbrother, and he's going to fly to Uranus. No pun intended. Do a bullish double vertical on Tesla, but don't do it unless you're 3 of something. Really, really, really. Okay? There you go, Kevin. Absolutely. All right. How are we feeling about double verticals? Pretty cool. I got a lot out of this. I actually learned some shit tonight. And I'm teaching the damn thing. Everybody learned something? Now, again, if you can get a paper trading account at Thinkorswim or some other cool places, try these, man. That VXX trade I covered tonight, I might be covering Thursday in the urgent alert with the other options with the potential new members. I like these. Rick, I love doing double verticals. When they're working, baby, I love doing them, and then they only break even, right? So I found this the hardest tactic to learn. Kevin, did tonight help me going, usually my live trade briefs, I do what? 10-minute, 15-minute trade. Tonight we had an hour and 15 minutes on this tactic. Good, my brother. Awesome. All right, guys. And again, obviously, I'll post the replay here as soon as I get a glass of wine and get ready for my what channel is that? Channel 165. Oh, Sirius Patriot Radio, channel 125. Man, if you are on channel 125, Patriot Radio, Patriot Radio at 11 o'clock. Wiz is going to be there. Call-in number, call in at 11, and how do you want to be announced title-wise? Okay. All right, guys, let me get going. I got to set up this interview I'm going to do tonight. If you got any time, stop by. If not, hopefully you learned some stuff tonight. Like I said, Rick, we're talking about North Korea, the terminal high-altitude air defense system, and killing that piece of shit al-Baghdadi finally, and us taking over Mosul. So we're more worried about Donald Trump Jr. than killing the head of ISIS and liberating Mosul. Go figure. Okay? Thanks, Andreas. I appreciate it, my brother. The only thing I need to figure out is how not to get exercise. First one I tried, got nailed. Rick, I think I answered you in the ready room, and my apologies for the delay. I was rolling in the mud with one of our other members who is no longer with us. Because we just don't need super negative people in the squadron. So Rick, I will get with Doug on that. I think he literally has like an hour lection on exercise and assignment. The best thing, guys, it's almost like the War Games movie. You know, the only winning move is not to play. Sometimes the best way to defend against exercise is don't let the position get that far out of whack. But I know that doesn't help when you are. The easiest thing to do, Rick, if you do get exercise is what? A great point, Kevin, before I make that other great point. SPX settles in cash. You don't have to worry about it. VXX doesn't settle in cash. The VIX doesn't settle in cash. You can get assigned. Okay, so, but for me, Rick, the random times I've been assigned in my life when I was a retail, before I was pro-am or pro, you pick up the phone and say, guys, I woke up today with 300 shares of VXX in here. What do I need to do? I turn it into a covered call, man. I buy the shares and sell an upside at the money call. Or not an upside, I sell an at the money call, bring in a nice piece of scratch to help offset that little bit of a loss. And guess what? It gets called away from me. So I do it pretty damn quick. If I get assigned, if I get those lemons, I make some pretty sweet lemonade out of it. That was a 2-minute answer to your longer question, but maybe I'll maybe I'll incorporate into that one of the later. And maybe at the end of our Options Weapons School sessions, I'll take a little bit more time on that in our last session, okay? All right, guys. Sorry I went over a little bit, but I think it was worth it. Double verticals. Don't forget, very, very, very something. If you're one very, do a regular spread. If you're very, very something, stick with a regular spread. If you're very, very, very something, get with the double vertical. Thanks, Rick. All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll see some of you tomorrow in accelerated retirement at 1 o'clock. And then tomorrow night, if you want to come by, I'm going to be probably doing like bear call spreads or bull put spreads or something like that for the potential Options Weapons School members. You guys don't have to show up. You already had it. Take the night with pay tomorrow night, and then I'll see you guys Thursday night for either diagonals or iron condors. Okay? All right, guys. Have a great night. God bless, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, or I'll see you on the sit rep. We'll see you.